All right, guys, welcome to another edition of Jayfabe Wrestling. We're at WrestleMania 37, so yeah, we're almost there, near the end. We are on the journey of rebooking every WrestleMania, so let's talk about it. WrestleMania 37 took place April 10th and 11th in the year 2021, yes, in Tampa, Florida, in the Raymond James Stadium. And combined attendance, we got 40,806. Obviously, there was still some restrictions due to the pandemic. And tagline, back in business. Yes, they were. You know, we got the crowd back after over a year. So that was a great moment. So yeah, let's get into the card right now. So we got on night one, we got Bobby Lashley defeating Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship. Then we got Natalya and Tamina winning a tag team turmoil match, last eliminating the Riot Squad to win a tag team title match on night two. We got Cesaro defeating Seth Rollins, AJ Styles and Omos defeating the New Day, Braun Strowman defeating Shane McMahon in a steel cage match, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest defeating The Miz and John Morrison. And then in the main event for the Smackdown Women's Championship, we got Bianca Belair defeating Sasha Banks. And then night two, we got Randy Orton defeating The Fiend, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeating Natalya and Tamina to retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn. This is when Logan Paul is doing commentary. Sheamus defeated Riddle in a singles match for the U.S. belt. Apollo Crews defeated Big E to retain his Intercontinental Championship to win in a Nigerian drum fight. Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship. And in the main event, Roman Reigns defeated Edge and Daniel Bryan to retain his WWE Universal Championship. So yeah, WrestleMania 37 had its ups and downs, but I thought the main events of both nights were really good. You know, the women's matches were really good as well. You know, had some nice celebrities with Bad Bunny doing his thing in the tag match, which was cool. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good card. But yeah, I'm gonna try to work my magic and make it better. Let's do it. All right. First match. We're going to talk about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So obviously this took place on like a super Smackdown. But, to me it doesn't make sense. Just have it on the show. Unless obviously there were still restrictions and like how much people in the ring and all that. But they had it anyways. So I think if you're allowed, let's do it on the show. And the final two I would have be Ricochet and Elias, and I'd have Ricochet, get the nice feel-good win here. And then we would have the women's Battle Royal match, and I would have Billie Kay get the win there. She was, getting over with the gimmick of, her trying to, apply to be people's partners, and, she could do that throughout the match, and she could win. I would even have her maybe have the last two eliminate each other both. And, Billie Kay could be in the ring celebrating with, her resumes in the ring and all that. So I think that'll be a nice moment for her. All right. So we're going to start from the Raw side here. We got the Raw Tag Team Championship. I have The Miz and John Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. So, yeah, keep the same feud here going, but just have it for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Obviously, The Miz, worked well with celebrities here, and John Morrison are both entertaining. And so is Bad Bunny. And yeah, Damian Priest gets the rub here. And obviously Bad Bunny had a great performance here. He was, pulling out Canadian destroyers and, doing a lot of things celebrities couldn't do. And he even had a great entrance, obviously, with on top of the truck. That was a cool moment. And I would give, obviously, the celebrity Bad Bunny and Damian Priest the win. And the next night, they can kind of vacate the titles maybe, because I'm pretty sure Bad Bunny, he wasn't scheduled to wrestle again. But if he is, you could have them defend the belts, which would be cool. All right, next up, we got the United States Championship match, Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle. So they had Matt Riddle win on the Elimination Chamber, obviously, because, Bobby was set for bigger things. But I have a different title match here. So, yeah, I'd still keep Bobby as a champ, looking strong, and Matt Riddle could win a number one contenders match here. And, yeah, they could just talk about, how Bobby, he's not afraid of Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle could bring up how, Bobby tried MMA, but, he ain't as tough as me. And, Bobby could try to punk out Riddle, but Riddle's like, bro, just relax, And, Riddle could, kind of take out the members of the Hurt Business. He could beat, Shelton one week, Cedric the other week. And last week, he could finally beat MVP and says, he's ready to become the U.S. champion because he embodies what U.S. is, to be a nice, cool bro. So, I think it'd be a good match. And this is where I give Matt Riddle the nice feel-good win. All right, next up we got Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. So, this is really what happened in real life, but how I booked the match would be different. And obviously WrestleMania 33, this match didn't happen. So, I'd have Randy just go on a tear, and the Fiend can interrupt him, and say, you're being too much, trying to put him back in his place, saying, you think you're evil. You want to see real evil, and you have, Bray starting to torment Randy. And in the build, you could have Randy obviously RKO Alexa Bliss and all that stuff. So, and I'd actually give them, decent amount of time. Maybe give them a gimmick here. Maybe like a no-holds-barred match. And, I think it would be better in that gimmick. And I would actually give Bray Wyatt the win there. All right, next up is another match that happened. Shane versus Braun Strowman. Obviously the way they built this, it's kind of weird where Shane called Braun Strowman dumb. And Braun was, going crazy. Shane has a lot of history with the Giants, making them look dumb, like the Big Show, which way did he go? He did that to the Big Show. But I think I would actually book this feud. Maybe Braun could eliminate Shane from the Royal Rumble. And, Shane can, attack Braun after, get his elimination, put him on the announce table. It does the elbow drop. And, Braun can say, once I get my hands on Shane, he's done. And Shane can continue to avoid him, And Braun doesn't get his hands on him. And they make the match a steel cage match where Shane can't run. But Shane says, this is my advantage because I know how to run. And if I can get out the cage, I win the match. I don't have to pin you. So, probably had the same match. It was a decent match there. Braun gets the nice victory. All right, next up we got Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. So yes, I do not have Drew McIntyre in my main event, guys, but I still have him in a big match against Sheamus. So I would actually have Drew versus AJ at the Royal Rumble. And that's when Sheamus would cost Drew McIntyre the match. And Sheamus's reasoning, it says, he grew up, with Drew McIntyre, and he was expecting him to give him a title match, but he's being greedy, so he had to cost him something to recognize that our friendship is over. And Drew can talk about how him and Sheamus grew up in this business, and that Sheamus he got his due, and Drew was supporting him, but now Drew's the man and Sheamus is just jealous and he's bitter, and he knew that he was never a true friend. So and they could have some nice pull away brawls, and obviously these two had a great match, I think, at Fastlane. So I would just have that match here. And Drew McIntyre gets a nice hard-fought victory. All right, next match we got for the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. So just have the same match here. Same build. I would have Rhea win the Elimination Chamber here. And Asuka can start getting cocky, saying, Rhea's too, she's inexperienced and she would never be ready for Asuka. And Rhea could talk about how, she's been preparing her whole life to be ready, and she's going to prove that she's ready. And she offers a handshake, and Asuka kind of laughs, And, Asuka could do a couple sneak attacks, and she's kind of teasing, will she do the mist or not? And on the go-home show, she finally does the miss on Rhea. And she says, she'll do whatever it takes to win because no one's ready for Asuka. So, and same match here. I think Rhea gets a nice feel-good victory here as a face. It's kind of funny seeing, how her character changed throughout the years. But, this was her first, big win here. And, great moment at WrestleMania. All right. And in the main event for Raw, we got the WWE World Championship. AJ Styles versus Edge. Like I said before, I'd have AJ Styles win the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre thanks to Sheamus at the Royal Rumble. And on that same card, I would have Edge win the Royal Rumble. And Edge would decide who to choose. And Edge finally chooses AJ after AJ defends his title at the Royal Rumble. And obviously we got the match a year later, but I think, both characters were less as hot, and it was kind of, Edge being the heel, which was kind of forced to me, and AJ was the face. I thought, this dynamic would have been much better with AJ as the heel and Edge as the face, hungry to regain the championship that he never he won, and obviously that he never lost, and obviously this is a great dream match here. And you could have some nice smack talk with AJ talking about how, while Edge was, at home and, with his family, he was out here, killing it, becoming WWE champion and proving that he belonged. And Edge could say, he respects AJ Styles, but he needs him to prove it. This ain't TNA. This is the big leagues. And now you're facing one of the biggest stars, the rated R superstar. So, I think their match would be better this year than the year before just because Edge had more juice. And I would actually give Edge the win. This would be kind of like a double turn where Edge would, cheat to win. He would kind of use the chair. And, I think Edge having a nice heel run would be cool for him. So, and he regains the title that he never lost. Even though obviously it was a different belt as the World Heavyweight title. But, same thing. He won a World title again. So, And I think it'll be a great match and a great moment for Edge. All right, next up, we're talking about the SmackDown side. We got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We got Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. This match did happen, I believe, on a SmackDown, but, or a different pay-per-view. But it was weird, why don't you have Rey and Dominic's moment be at WrestleMania? It only makes sense here. Rey and Dominic could win like a number one contenders gauntlet match here. And Bobby and Dolph could kind of mock Rey and say, are you sure? Rey, we know you're great, but we don't know about your son. Your son still has to prove it. And Dominic, he'll try to prove it. He'll get attacked by Bobby and Dolph. He'll tell Rey to, stay in the back. I want to prove that I could do it myself. And so, they're kind of trying to get in Dominic's head here that, he ain't nothing. And his dad is carrying him. But Rey can say, my son, he's my son for a reason, and that he's going to be ready at WrestleMania, and we're going to become the first ever father and son tag team champions. And that's what they do. I think it'll be a really good match here. You got 4 solid workers, and then obviously a great moment for Rey and his son Dominic to win the tag titles, obviously. And eventually, Dominic could turn on Rey, but still, for the time, this is a great moment. All right, next up we got the Intercontinental Championship match. We got Sami Zayn versus Big E. This match also happened on the SmackDown and had a great moment with Big E winning and, the great celebration here. But I would just save that again to WrestleMania. Have Sami, winning title matches here by cheating. And Big E could win a number one contenders match. And Sami's on commentary. He's kind of worried. And, Sami could talk about, how Big E, this ain't the tag team division. You gotta prove it that you're good. And Big E can say he's gonna prove to everyone that he's more than just a tag team guy and that he could be a singles champion here. And Sami could be kind of mocking Big E, saying this ain't time for jokes and dancing. It's time to get serious. And he slaps Big E, and that's when Big E starts to snap, and Sami could get away. That built some nice heat there. And I think these two had a great match here. Nice combination of the big face against the swarmy heel, and you got to give Big E the nice feel good victory here. All right, next up we got a fun match here. We got Alistair Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And yeah, the feud could be simple here. You know, who has the deadlier kick? Is it the Black Mass or is it the Kinshasa? They could probably have a match on SmackDown or even at the Royal Rumble where, you know, they both, you know, hit the finishers on each other and they both eliminate each other, and they start brawling. And yeah, Alistair can make the challenge. He says, me versus you, Nakamura, the Black Mass versus the Kinshasa, and from behind, Kinshasa, and Nakamura says, I accept. And yeah, they can have some mind games where, you know, Alistair Black can you know, appear behind Nakamura, scaring him, and he says, I'm going to hit you with the Black Mass when you least expect it. And it could be Nakamura versus Big E in the number one contenders IC tournament, going for the Kinshasa, ref is down, Black Mass, Big E gets the win there. And yeah, I think obviously these two styles would be great in a match. And, you know, you have Alistair Black still on the roster, so you might as well use him. And Shinsuke as well. All right, next up we got Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso. Yeah, Jey Uso is not on the card here, but I will have him on the card. And yeah, this is simple. You know, Kevin Owens would fight Roman at the Rumble. Jey Uso would cost him. Same thing at the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, and Kevin Owens could just snap and you know, go crazy. And they say, you know what, we're gonna give you Jey Uso in a in a street fight. And yeah, and Kevin Owens could talk about how, you know, he was so close to winning the title and putting more food on his plate for his family. And he says, Jey Uso, that's the one thing you don't do. You don't mess with my family. And Jey Uso could talk about how, you know, you messed with my family. You know, I got my family's back. And, you know, they could have a nice couple brawls here, good promos here where Kevin says, you know, he's going to fight. And he can't wait to fight Jey Uso. And Jey Uso says, you know, growing up in my family, I learned how to wrestle, I learned how to fight as well. So let's get it on. And yeah, it's going to be a fun match here. Kevin Owens gets a nice victory here. All right, next up we got Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This is a match that really happened. So, yeah, simple build here where Seth says, you know, Cesaro's not on my level. You could have Cesaro maybe eliminate Seth in the Elimination Chamber. And Seth can get upset and eliminate Cesaro. And yeah, simple build here where Cesaro, obviously in my road, I had Cesaro win the world title. So Seth can't really use that against Cesaro, but he could say, you know, he was lucky, it was a one-time fluke, and that, you know, to really prove you're the man, you got to beat the best, and that's me, Seth freaking Rollins. And yeah, you know, you have Cesaro, you know, kind of ripping up his clothes and stuff, and in the build as well. And, you know, he could get him in the Cesaro swing where Cesaro slowly escapes. And he says, you know, he's going to shut up Seth Rollins once and for all. So, yeah, these two had a really great match. And, yeah, keep everything the same here. And I would actually give Seth Rollins the win here because I gave Cesaro the win, you know, last year. And I think Seth needs a nice big Mania win. So I'd actually give Seth the win. He could kind of cheat to win, but still be a really good match. All right, next up we got the Smackdown Women's Championship, which I'll probably have main event one of the nights. Obviously, I'm just dividing by Raw and SmackDown here. But yeah, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. So Bianca wins the Royal Rumble. She chooses Sasha Banks. And Sasha and Bianca, they could do the tag team thing where they lose at Fastlane or whatever. And yeah, the promos here would be nice where Sasha could talk about, you know, she is the boss of WrestleMania. And that, you know, without her, there would be no Bianca Belair. And Bianca can talk about how, you know, she respects Sasha and she paved the way for Sasha. But, you know, this is a new era now. This is the EST era. And, yeah, they can have, you know, a couple of, you know, good promos against each other. You know, Sasha talking about how, you know, Bianca's not ready for the big time. I'm a true star. And Bianca could talk about how, you know, Sasha's just scared that I'm going to be a bigger star than you. So, yeah, they can have some cool, fun promos here. And, yeah, maybe the go-home show, they could have like a handshake, but then it turns into a nice brawl, pull-away brawl. So, yeah, I'll keep everything here the same. Keep them in the main event. Obviously, the emotional moment in the beginning of the match was awesome. And when Bianca used the braid to whip Sasha. That was a great moment as well. And yeah, Bianca Belair gets her moment at WrestleMania in the main event of night 1. And yeah, I think, again, it was a great match and a great moment. All right. The main event of the evening of night 2 for the WWE Universal Championship. We got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. So yeah, I mean, I would have, Cesaro obviously won last year, and I'd probably have Roman take it off him at SummerSlam. And yeah, he would hold the belt from there. He would have his feud with Jey Uso. Daniel Bryan would come close to winning the Rumble, but he would win the Elimination Chamber. And after the Elimination Chamber, Roman can, assault Daniel, but Daniel could counter it into the LaBelle lock or the yes lock. And then before, Roman's going to tap, Jey Uso could come out, break it up. So, and yeah, the promos here would be great. These two have been intertwined for a while. They could talk about 2015. Daniel Bryan can say, WWE, they try to make you the man, but look what happened. They know that I'm the greatest. They know I'm the best wrestler in this business. They know I'm the real face of the WWE. And Roman can say, yeah. And what happened, Daniel? You got injured. And so, yeah. And then, Daniel Bryan can say that, he's finally happy. Roman's finally found, the eye of the tiger. Because when he fought him, before, he didn't have that. And that's why the fans hated him. And Roman can talk about how, he's always been jealous of Daniel Bryan because whatever he used to do, the fans would boo him and they would always cheer for Daniel Bryan. And guess what? Now he's going to give them a reason to boo him because he's going to end Daniel Bryan's career once and for all. So, yeah, get really personal here. And obviously, Daniel Bryan would be, brawling with Jey Uso as well. He could put Paul Heyman in the LaBelle lock. So, yeah. And, yeah, you got to give Roman the win here. Roman finally gets that monkey off his back, who is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's always been a shadow in Roman. So yeah, I think they'll have a great match. Their match on Smackdown and their match on Fastlane was excellent. So I assume it'll be much better here with a crowd, at WrestleMania. And I know Daniel Bryan will be jacked up to main event under WrestleMania. And yeah, this is the start of Roman Reigns, headlining WrestleMania as the Tribal Chief. And I think it'll be a great match, and yeah, Roman continues his reign. All right, guys, yeah, so that's my card for WrestleMania 37. Let me know what you guys think of it. I think I improved the card a little bit here. First off, putting Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, these two always have a great matches with each other. I think AJ and Edge a year earlier would have been much better. Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle. It's a nice feel-good win for Matt Riddle. And yeah, I'm keeping the good stuff the same, obviously, from Raw. The tag team with Bad Bunny, putting the titles on the line there makes it much better. Rhea and Asuka is solid. Randy and Bray, if booked differently, it could be good. And then on SmackDown, crowning Rey Mysterio and Dominic is a nice feel-good moment. Also crowning Big E as a mid-card guy there. Getting Jey Uso on the card, I think, is key. And I think it was time to finally blow off the Roman-Daniel Bryan feud that, started technically all the way in 2015. And, yeah, I think it's a nice way for Daniel Bryan's farewell and just a great way to, establish Roman as the guy. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about my card. And I'm going to run down the card for you right now. All right, so we got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the pre-show, Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal, and here are the Raw matches for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Miz and John Morrison defending against Damian Priest and Bad Bunny for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman steel cage match. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. For the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. And for the WWE World Championship, AJ Styles defending against Edge. And the SmackDown matches we got for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, Bobby Lashley and Dolph Ziggler versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic. For the Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn versus Big E. Alistair Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso in a no DQ match. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. And for the WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate the support, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.